Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Caedrel just announced through Los Ratones, his team, that they have just acquired a complete roster. Caedrel, of course, the founder of the team and the coach of the team, that he said himself. The team being the Baus, FFS, Velja, Nemesis, Crowny, and of course, world champion Rekkles. Rekkles cited that he had some personal things that he needed to deal with. That he got an opportunity to work from home, and that's why he didn't carry on from his situation in his post in T1. Small anecdote. The person who hired Rekkles to T1, the GM Becker, was the GM of Sandbox when I joined, of course, Sandbox back in 2020. So the world's very, very small, and the goat keeps goating. Becker is responsible for my personal best esports experience of all time. But Rekkles cited that, 1 year he felt very good, but it kind of pushed away some of the personal things that he needed to deal with. So this is an opportunity for him to do so and still be very competitive and, work on a very, very interesting project. I think it's very exciting what Caedrel is doing. I think it's so insane and so good that he's at the forefront of League of Legends, because even in the League Awards and how inviting his stream environment is in terms of how he is as a person, I think it's always telling in terms of how the fan base is acting. When I have the XZD Reds visiting me when he is offline, they're always super cool, super nice, and I think that always reflects on, of course, the streamer. I think we can safely assume this team is going to be playing in the NLC. I don't know what kind of League of Legends happens in Slovenia. The reason I say so is because, you need to fit some kind of criteria in regards to, of course, hitting, having two regional players from the region that you're going to be playing in, because that's important. To hit that mark. That's a part of the rule set. You can have two imports. You can have, EMEA imports, which means that in the region there's no crossover. So basically, like, if they went for a bid in the NLC, they already got that covered because they have, of course, the Baus being Swedish and Rekkles being Swedish. So they covered that point. I think it's super, super exciting. I think it's going to bring, give us some of that old esports energy back, that hype and that build up. And you can begin to imagine, that if Caedrel is doing this, he's not doing this in a half-assed way. He's doing it with the intention to stick with it all the way through. He has the resources, he has the smarts to do so. So you can already begin to picture and imagine, the circumstance and the scenario where he goes all the way and eventually makes his LEC bid maybe some years down the line. We don't know how the ecosystem will change, but I'm sure that he will be able to create something that simply will thrive. In regards to the roster, of course, I think that the obvious names, Nemesis, Crowny, Rekkles, are superstars. Velja is someone that has dominated, of course, the solo queue ladder, and I believe that he played with Nemesis and Crowny in a team. So there's someone that is, I don't know too much personally about, but I want to talk about Baus, because usually it's like people point him out as him being the silly dragon out of the five that is in the mix. So like the clown with the gun, with the military behind the corner of the door, looking to storm a little nexus or something. The thing is, I think Baus is extremely underrated. I had the pleasure of working with him and playing with him a couple of streamer tournaments, and I do think that in terms of his understanding of side lane management, in terms of finding windows to play, I do think that Baus is kind of a diamond in the rough. I think that his understanding of waves and understanding of perceived value is super, super good, although I do think the new bounty system kind of nerfed him. I have to add the layer 2 that I think the main thing, if Baus just doesn't die to level 3-4 ganks and kind of fine-tunes his itemization and doesn't play AP on champions that shouldn't have to play AP, I kind of think that Baus has great potential. Mechanically, he's insane. He's one of the best Gragas I've ever seen. I really like his Ramos. Sion is not maybe in the best state now, but it's always something they can pull out, right? And I think that he's going to be dangerous enough that he's going to be pulling bans for this team. And I think that if Baus takes a serious approach to certain elements of his gameplay, I think that Baus can be really, really good. No joke. I think he'd be really, really good. We were playing this tournament, and I was always pushing for Baus to lead and choose the moments that we fight, because some of our teammates had the tendency of micromanaging him because they assumed that he knew less. But I could see in terms of his map movement and how he understood, information of which waves he can push and not. I knew that this is a player that you should, of course, give space. But across the board, I think it's a super studded roster. I think it's super exciting. The final thing that I can add here is that obviously, in terms of my participation here, people ask me, are you going to coach this team? Well, they don't need backup. They don't need backup. But I will be there. I will be there every game, every step of the way. I will be there. In what capacity? Who knows? Who knows? Caedrel has done something that inspires. He has done something that all of us, I think many of us that have been in esports for a very long time, dream of doing. I always make the analogy that standing on somebody else's carpet just feels terrible and you want to build your floor. He's building a very, very strong foundation and floor. And that is inspirational. And in that, I think I can end the video. And you can speculate and speculate on what I exactly mean. But it will come. And it will be glorious. Thank you so much for watching. Super happy for Caedrel, super happy for the scene, and super excited for what's to come. See you on the next one. Peace.